Welcome to another episode of Spilling the Veal. We got your host, Terrence Jennings, and our co-host slash producer, Blake McCauley. What's going on, Blake?
Got our third episode of the week. We had our episode, well, not really week. We had one on Sunday and then one the very next day with Marshawn come out. A packed week for Spill in the Ville. Make sure if you haven't, go check out that episode with Marshawn Ford, former Louisville tight end. Talk a little bit about the addition of Lincoln Keenholtz and his time at U of L when he played. But it's a pretty good listen, TJ.
Man, definitely go check that out. It was a wonderful interview with former Cardinal Marshawn. Uh, it was really interesting getting to kind of know his background and just get to know his take basically on everything that's going on with all this movement going on at U of L football. So he's definitely somebody I was excited to hear from, and it was a great all around interview, man, for sure. So shout out Marshawn, man, thank you.
Yeah, we'll get into this Louisville Duke game. Really a tale of two halves. Duke ended up winning 84-73. They had three players with over 20 plus points. Terrence, what are your thoughts after this game?
I think we came out really aggressive in the first half. The first half was, I feel like we dominated, 47-38 going up until halftime. I think we did a really good job just, controlling the pace of the game. I mean, Ryan, shoot, he came out on fire, and I shout out Ali. Hey, I see you, big fella. But he came out, hit some big shots for us, but unfortunately, Ryan and Ali is not going to get it done against Duke. That second half really was the tell. I think we got into foul trouble in that second half with like 13 minutes left in the game. So I think that really hurt us. And that second half collapse really killed us. They outscored us 46-26 in the second half. So that kind of flipped the game completely. And we went to a scoring drought. We couldn't get any offense from any of our other guys. I think we really need a guy that could create off the dribble. And I know Ryan, he was really trying to create and make some stuff happen, but that's just not his game. Unfortunately, hey, I see him as a 1-2 dribble guy, get to a pull up, swing it to him, a spot up shooter. Unfortunately, he's not just a guy that's going to create downhill and get you those. He's a scorer, so I don't see him having a keen eye for distributing. So, but he did what he could. He tried to keep us in the game, and that's these are the cards we were dealt. So, I mean, yeah, it's just a second half collapse. I think we need to make a few more adjustments, but yeah, that's kind of how it went.
That the big outscoring in the second half. I think we had 38 going into halftime, or they had 38 going into halftime, and then you look up with like 9 minutes left in the second half, and they've got 68 points just like that. And it's like everything that could possibly go wrong in that second half did. And I mean, we hit some heavily contested shots in that first half. I believe we shot 7 from 10 from three, got off to as hot as a start as you could, but in that second half you could really see the absence of Michael out there. You can tell
Yeah.
this team just really needs a facilitator and just a point guard out there to help these scores, to get Isaac open, get Conwell open on those open shots, and even Woolley.
Yeah, we definitely needed a guy out there that can penetrate those seams and create shots and create other things for our teammates and our spot up shooters. We're so inside heavy and shoot heavy. We got guys we can kick it out to, but not many guys that can create their own shot off the dribble and really set other guys up. Come down, penetrate the middle, nice floater, create a little step back, or come off the pick and roll, probe, draw the defense out, throw that lob over top, or come in with a finish at the basket. So, you know, it could have. I think we had control of the game in the first half. I feel like we would have kept that same intensity up, we would have been fine. But I think we just kind of collapsed. And 14 turnovers. We had 14 turnovers, so that's not gonna get it done. So yeah, that's how it went.
Do you think, I mean, defensive side of the ball in the second half was pretty tough, especially late in that game. And it seemed like in the first half we were doing good on the defensive side, but do you think, like, if we were to mix in a little bit of zone from here, do you think that would change anything? Like, what do you think defense can do from here?
I mean, I honestly don't see a zone changing it too much. I don't see a zone really changing anything because if you don't have any dogs up at the front, and what I mean guys that are going to sit down in a defensive stance and slide their feet and move with the ball and move in unison. And honestly, when we play zone, we were trying to get back to man as quickly as possible. So as soon as that ball went high post, we're going right to man. So we're playing man regardless. So you got to be able to play man. Like this is you have to be able to sit down and guard your man. You have to have a pride and something in you to say, okay, I'm not going to let this guy just blow right past me. He's going to have to come up with the most creative shot you've ever seen before every time to score this ball. But it can't just be a waltz right to the basket with no resistance. So I'm sorry, the zone isn't. You see what we did to do when they came out in the zone? We just lit them up. So that's what's going to happen. We're just going to get lit up if those guys. So the zone thing is we have to guard. And that's how it's going to go. So yeah, the zone is yeah.
Ollie in the post game press conference, he said like we have to take defense personal and it's unacceptable. And you look at Caleb Foster, he was going straight downhill at people's hip and they just couldn't stay in front of him. And he was just create if he wanted a layup, it was there. If he wanted to distribute, it was there. He really just I mean, Boozer had a quiet 20 set. He was like 10 for 12. And then
Yeah.
you had Isaiah Evans. We also highlighted him. I think he had like 24, but Caleb Foster, we talked about him a little bit. We probably should have talked about him a little more. We highlighted how he's their vet guard,
Right.
and he really just he had everything flowing for him.
Yeah, I will say a little later on, it was the Evans kid between Evans and Boozer, but later on, Caleb just I think he realized that he could just get to the basket at will. So, hey, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do, especially in the late game. Those guys are going back. They're like, "Hey, man, you can take them. You can go. You can go." So you got to make sure that you're staying in the defensive stance, locked in, and taking some pride into keeping your man in front of you for sure.
Later in the game, it was I mean, people around me were talking about it. It was all over social media, and it was just so visual was the body language late in that game.
Yeah.
What I know we've talked personally about what Coach Pitino would tell you guys when you were in college. Just what did he tell you guys about your all's body language?
Yeah, you always want to represent yourself as a brand. Coach P always talked about giving yourself a great commercial. Presenting yourself as a great commercial. There's so many cameras on you visually, especially in social media age. Everybody's watching how you're moving, different angles, and so you have to make sure that you're presenting yourself in the best light possible. Now, I get it. There's a lot of pressure on these guys to perform. You don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose. Okay. We hate losing, but you still have to keep your composure and you still have to show emotion uh within the parameters of the team. You never want to step outside of your team, keep everything together and make sure you're focused on the team effort because once you separate yourself, then you're alienating yourself from everybody else and it just creates more and more friction and it just makes everything worse. So we want to make sure we're not front runners. Okay. We got to be stay together when it's going good, stay together when it's going bad. Okay. So just these guys are young, they're figuring it out, they're making a lot of money. There's a lot of things at stake. So I'm coming from a guy that didn't make as much money as these guys playing basketball in college. So I'm still gonna act my wage, but at the same time, you gotta understand that you want to put yourself in the best light possible when all those people are watching. So for sure, and it shows the other team that they got you. If you're rattled and you're arguing with your other teammates, oh, we got him mentally. So you got to stay in it mentally and focus.
That's what you guys I'm assuming that you, PK, Andre McGee, you guys were looking for that. Anytime that they were getting on each other,
Right.
it's like, "Okay, we got him. We got him
Yeah.
exactly where we want him."
Right. Right. We didn't have to say anything. We just controlled them. They're going to beat themselves from within. So we got these guys. We're okay. All right. We can just continue to do what we're doing and even maybe rev it up even more and not take a back seat and not take a step back. So we stay doing what we're doing and stay in our program, and we'll be fine.
And all the talk about Michael the past couple weeks, his body language, I'll say I don't think he sat down the entire game. He was clapping, he was encouraging, he was giving his teammates advice, like he was up on that sideline. So I know there's
Mhm.
been a lot of talk about him the last couple weeks, but I mean, you love to see him showing that and showing like
Yeah.
I'm trying to be out here and just looking at the kid, he wants to
Mhm.
play bad. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
in the next couple weeks he's able to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it is what it is. Everybody wants him to play. Clearly, we need him, but he's hey, long as he's in tune with the game, he's not separating himself from his teammates. He's cheering everybody on. He's into the game. He's talking to players. Hey, that's all you can ask, and we're ready to get you back. But we want to make sure you're as healthy as possible, so you're able to give it your all. And he'll be fine, man. He's out. He's got a great attitude out there, so he's doing well for sure.
We'll get into this week's good, bad, and ugly. We've got 3 good, 2 bad, and 2 ugly. And we'll say this first good, it's half good and it'll be half bad. So we can say we've got, I don't know, a half bad, two and a half bad.
Okay, let's check it out, man. Let's see what we got. Okay. So this is a great seal by Sonny. So if we go ahead, push play, Ryan attacks to his right and stop it. So this is a great seal off by Sonny right here to free up. And I see a lot of the big men doing this lately. Just kind, and I used to do this too, just to kind of seal my man off and give my man a wide open layup, get one of my guards a wide open layup at the cup. But unfortunately, Mr. Conwell, Smokey McSmokestein, misses the layup. Go ahead, push play. But
Ah,
Eddie
he
falls
took
on
a
his back.
hard fall to that. Yeah.
Took a hard fall.
Boom.
But hey, but yeah, this is early in the game. So this is like this is what you want to see. This is great physicality by Sonny. But Ryan, hey, come on, you had a great game. She got to finish these bunnies. This is a bunny right here. And he takes a pretty tough fall. But hey, we gotta take advantage of those bunnies at the rim, especially against a team like Duke. We gotta finish all those. We need everything we get out there. We can't leave anything on the table. But shout out Ryan. He had a great game, but knocked that down for us. But great seal by Sonny though, for sure. Okay, let's see what we got. So this is an out of bounds play. They're coming off, and I think we're set pretty good. And look at look at Kanai. He's really working on Boozer. You know, this is taking advantage, like I said, using your technique, taking advantage of your footwork and your athleticism.
Charge? You think that's charge? Think Kobe's
Go
there?
back, go ahead back again. Yeah, I think he got away. Yeah, he got away with the charge. It could have his feet were set, but
Yeah,
I want to
Kanai's
say,
going to work there.
yeah, he's definitely going to work. Let me see. Bam. This is great rotation too. You just want to make sure they can see bodies. And this is indicative of the result. They're seeing bodies every time they penetrate. They're always seeing white jerseys, and they're so rattled that we force them to shoot an air ball just because of our movement and we're scrambling around. They shoot an air ball. So this is exactly how you move in unison. Footwork, Kanai's working around front of the post, which is great.
Shout out Ollie, too. He's all over the place.
Yeah, Ali's he's challenging shots. He's moving, he's on his good foot. So yeah, this is exactly what you want to see every single time down the floor, especially against a team like Duke. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep this type of rotation and momentum up. But yeah, this is what you want to see, especially against a team like that.
All right, we'll get into our last of the good, and it is kind of a tale of two halves, like we talked. All the good are coming from the first half, and then we've got the two ugly. They are coming from the second half. So
Yeah, two totally different games. Two totally different games. So okay, great rebound by Kanai. Way to go back up strong. And he played with a lot of energy the first half. I believe he only played what 3 minutes the second half.
I believe so.
So yeah, that I would have liked to see him play a lot more because his energy was off the charts. Works his way around, grabs the board, goes up strong, absorbs the contact. I mean, this is the type of energy that you have to play with. Everything's not going to always be drawn up correctly, and you're just going to have to get it out the mud and play. Just play basketball. That's what we need to really focus in on is just playing basketball and being more comfortable. A lot of guys, I'm looking at them, they just everybody doesn't look comfortable and set into where they want to be at. It's like, oh, should I shoot this? Should I attack here? Should I move here? We need to get on the same page for sure.
Kanai is somebody I feel like you talked about when you scream in front of that crowd, you get a block, you scream. I feel like he's a similar way as Kaysen is anytime he has that big energy play, he's going to let it out and scream. And anytime that happened last night, any game, the whole crowd got up and cheered. So, I mean, you know that from example, anytime you were blocking somebody, you're screaming right in their face. And that was getting
Yeah.
people on their feet cheering because it just shows how much you were caring about it.
Uh, I'm gonna tell you one thing I do notice the difference, and I know I'm gonna sound like an old head. I want you to, if you guys can go back, watch the starting five from my year. When anybody got a bucket, everybody was screaming. Look at Jerry Smith. He almost killed five of us every time he made a three or
He almost
got a
ripped, no telling how many jerseys he almost ripped.
and he ripped his jersey off, threw it over every single time. It's a regular season game. Preston Knowles, Andre McGee, everybody on our squad, we were ready to go. Earl Clark, the quietest guy, but when he got out there, he was energized. He was screaming. So we were all cheering for each other. We're cheering for everything. So, and that energy is infectious. So if you got one or two guys, it's and everybody's like, you know, it's not really translating. Okay. So I can't be the only guy out here with this super maxed out energy. Okay. And you need that energy and that to play defense. We should take that momentum, take that energy to get stops. We knew our offense would come, but we took pride in our defense and not let anybody score on us. So, I mean, yeah, the energy is infectious. You get a dunk, bam, you're ready to go. You ready to go for 50. So, hey, make sure you're coming out with that same energy and you'll be fine for sure.
Especially at a home game, like, there is nothing Louisville fans love more than if
Yeah,
somebody dunks it, showing emotion after that, diving for a loose ball, and if it's a jump ball, getting up, screaming, like, these
yeah.
fans thrive for that. Just wanted to take a second and give a big shout out to Best Way, home of the low price guarantee or it's free, where you can get all your home furnishing needs on a deal. They have everything from smart refrigerators, washer dryer sets, 86-inch TVs, PS5s, Xboxes, all the way to reclining living room suites and bedroom suites. Bestway offers so many ways to pay, from retail to rent to own and even financing through Lendmark. With 2 locations in Indiana, 1 in New Albany and 1 in Jeffersonville, and 5 locations in Kentucky. Radcliffe, Dixie Highway, Hikes Lane, Shelbyville, and Shepherdsville. Stop by today and tell them that we sent you to get $100 off your new item. Now let's get back to the show. We'll get into our 2 bad of the game.
Okay. So, all right, this is from a big man's perspective. All right. I'm not a guard, but from what I'm seeing, we got Isaac McNeely. He's coming off that screen set by Sonny going toward his right. And I would like to see Isaac get his 2 feet in the paint before he throws this lob and actually get one of those defenders, one of those Duke guys to actually engage. But he's not really a threat right here. So he recognized Boozer recognizes that. So he takes a step back and he's able to stand Sonny up, and Sonny's not able to actually time the lob. And the lob is really it's not a good not the greatest of lobs. And yeah, and I could tell this is not comfortable for Isaac for him to be doing. But I think he has a handle. I think he can handle the ball a little more, at least get into the paint. and setting him up because everybody's so worried about his shot. It's almost like the Ali thing, you know, everybody's worried about his pass. Everybody's worried about his pass. So you're gonna have other openings that you need to explore. Okay. You can't, we get it. You can shoot threes, but now let's open your 3-point game up by actually attacking the paint, getting 2 feet in the paint, making decisions, pitching it out, lob, bounce pass, get with Sonny after practice, before practice, figure out where he likes it, figure out how to throw it to him, get his timing right, because sometimes it's a timing thing and figuring that out. But Isaac, he'll be fine once we get Mike Hill back. We'll be able to create more shots and get more openings for Sonny down there. But yeah,
Get into our last bad.
so we got. I believe this is just a bad shot. You know, it's an NBA three. We come out. We're trying to get a good shot. We're down one at this point, and then that leads to this down on the other end of the court, which can't happen. Which is a blow by finish at the basket. So Ryan, he comes out and he does a dribble pull up. What we can't do is after that bad shot give up a easy layup on the other end. So that's this right here was really a momentum shifter, and it really stuck out to me in this game because that's kind of where the game took a turn for me.
Yeah, I mean, during that 7 for 10 stretch, it seems like there was those couple pull-ups where everything was literally falling and everything was going right, and then we were trying to do some of the same stuff in the second half, and I think we went 2 for 17 from 3 in the second half, so, I
Yeah.
mean, that's tough.
And that just comes from not we need a shot creator. You know, that's the shot, that's the best shot he felt like we could take in the moment. And if that's the best shot, that's not a good thing. We need to be more aggressive, putting pressure on the rim, taking advantage of our pick and roll situations, attacking, probing, making sure we're pulling that big, stretching those big mans out, forcing those guards and those guards to come off the wings and release from our shooters, so we can make those pitch outs or make a get to basket and score. So dribble pull up that at that point of the game isn't what we're looking for.
Get into our final play.
All right, so coming off. Okay, stop. Okay, the spacing is bad. I think Ali is trying to set him some type of screen, or maybe Kanai is trying to use him as a screen. But we need to make quick decisions, especially against a team like Duke, and we still have the lead at this point. We still have a 4-point lead. We're still in good position, but this is when we have to put pressure on the rim and create. We're playing too much east to west. We want to play more north south. So got Kanai, he's dribbling the ball. His back is toward all his other teammates. He swings it. All right. Isaac's playing east to west. We're passing it down. Okay. He's spinning and he's losing control. And they're off to the races. Bam. And a layup on the other end. So
And 1.
and one. So this can't happen. This can't happen. Uh yeah, it's tough. You know, Kanai, I think he changed his mind at the last minute on which way he wanted to go.
And that
Isaac, he
SAR
get
guy, 7 is just everywhere.
yeah, Duke really picked it up defensively, and they got their hands on a lot more balls, pause out there that second half, and it kind of flustered us a little bit. It kind of knocked us off our game. Once they start getting more physical, start getting more handsy on the balls, start getting those deflections, creating steals, it really kind of knocked us off our high horse, I guess you could say, mentally, because we had such a great first half, and then that second half is like it's two different teams. So yeah,
Going back to Ali in the post-game press conference and saying that they needed to take defense personally, PK also said in the presser that the leaders of the team, I think he said Ryan, Javon, and Ollie got in front of the team, and they were the ones that really did the speaking in the locker room. Is there any times when you were on a team? It doesn't have to be Louisville in specific, but maybe things weren't going your guys' way, and you didn't necessarily have like a players only meeting, but you guys really had a meeting and kind of brought it
Yeah.
together.
I mean, we'll have meetings after the meetings. We really we were really big on holding each other accountable. You know, it Coach P would say what he would say, but honestly, it would hit more if it came from one of my teammates. If they were like, "Hey, I feel like you could have did it a little better here, got this rebound or something." If they say it, then I'm more keen to listen and understand, and I can give them some feedback, because we're the only ones out there. We're the guys out there. We're the guys putting our bodies on the line, getting those rebounds, running up and down the floor. So that's who you're going to listen to. That's who you're going to take advice from. Coach P and the coaches, they handle the X's and O's, they strategize, they put you in the best position to be successful so your talent can flourish. But ultimately, it's up to you to go out there and leave it on the line.
Our next matchup is against Boston College this Saturday at noon on the CW network. Unfortunately, Boston College comes to the Yum Center with a 7-8 overall record. They just lost 79-71 against NC State. Terrence, what are your three keys for this game?
TJ's three keys: want to maintain constant pressure on the ball. Boston College, they struggle with teams that pressure them. So they're ranked like in the bottom 200 in terms of assists per game. So that's definitely going to be a key factor. Key number two, we definitely want to control the paint. Boston College is top 50 in total rebounds per game. Bolden Capkey, he had 11 rebounds in two of his last three games. So we definitely want to maintain controlling controlling the boards. Key number three, we want to force Payne to be a decision maker, not just a scorer. He can score in bunches. He's really good going downhill, putting pressure on the rim. He shoots these loaders. He's a great prober, works really great off the screen. But we want to force him. Basically, we want to force him to shoot more because he can shoot a little bit, but we want to. He's a way better penetrator, getting into the middle, getting that big getting Cap Key involved, getting that other his other big man involved. So we want to make sure we keep him away from the basket for sure. But those are TJ's three keys.
Talking about We've talked about blow-bys a lot on this show, and
Yeah,
these two guards that they have, Hand and Payne, like this, we better
yeah,
bring it on the defensive side because those are
yeah,
some two quick guards right there.
yeah. They're really quick. I mean, they have a really great handle. Sometimes they force it. So if we force them into making bad decisions, we can definitely run it up. But once they get going, there's no stopping them. They can score. Both of them can score in bunches. Especially Payne, Fred Payne. I watched him. He could give it to you how you want it. So once he gets going, he's going to be tough to stop. And we're going to have to really sit down, pause, and bring our hard hats, slide, move our feet. We're coming off the ground too much. That's what's essentially forcing those blow bys. We're getting off on our tippy toes. We need to be planted on the ground, sliding and moving our feet, and using our hips to get in front of those defenders. Because I feel like we have guards. I feel like our guards are capable of guarding. We just have to focus in more on it. No.
Yeah, Hand Jr., he's averaging 15 points and 5 rebounds, but he's not even shooting 34% on the year right now. He's 33% and 21% from three. And then you've got Fred Payne. He's averaging 13.2 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and he's shooting almost 40% from the field and 33% from three. So they're two very guard heavy. It's a
Yeah.
guard heavy team, but then they've got the Kapke guy. He's averaging almost 9 points a game. And then he's also a pretty good rebounder. I think one of those games he had like 2 points and 11 rebounds. So he's just kind of going as the offense goes. But their main paint presence is the Hastings guy. He's averaging 6.5 points and 5.5 rebounds and a
Yeah.
block and a half in a game. So
Yeah, I got a chance to watch the Hastings kid too. He's a big body, and he does a really good job at sealing his man off, allowing Payne or even Hanley to penetrate those seams and seal his man off and get those dump downs. So we have to watch him too. Make sure we're attacking by putting a body on him. Make sure he's not getting offensive rebounds. But yeah, but we definitely can score on them because from what I can see, Isaac and Ryan should be able to get up a lot of threes because they don't guard the three well. But we have to guard. I think we're not going to have a problem scoring them as much, but we have to make sure they don't score because it could get out of control if we do.
Yeah, the more you swing it on this team, like which I mean, it's basketball. The more you swing it, they have a harder time guarding it, and they have a hard time guarding as long as you're not playing one on one ball. Like
Yeah.
they give up pretty. They don't really get in passing lanes very well, and that leads to people like Isaac being wide open and Ryan. So this could be a game where they kind of thrive.
Right, right. Yeah. So hey, as long as they come ready to play, everything will take care of itself for sure.
All right, that's everything that we've got planned for today. We appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you to Unrivaled, Bestway, and Derek A. Stewart Realtor. You can go into our description in both YouTube and Spotify. Get that free $26 wash at Unrivaled if you haven't yet. Go into Bestway, get $100 off your new item. All their locations are in the ad in the middle of this show. Terrence, you got anything before we go?
Yeah, make sure you follow Spilling the Veal on all platforms, all social media platforms. Shout out Unrivaled. Shout out Best Way, Derek A. Stewart Realtor. Man, thank you for supporting. Hey, till next time. Yes, sir.